Hello, 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 hello. It is the 28th of July and things are moving and not moving. So I think in the last video I said I should have a completion date confirmed within the next week. Well, that hasn't happened. The buyer's buyer has requested some checks on the property they're buying, which is the property of the person who's buying mine. So I'm being told that yes, everybody is still doing everything they can so that the 11th of August is our completion date. But it's 2 weeks today, and officially that's not confirmed. And I had hoped for the opposite. I wanted sort of a month's notice, advance warning of the completion date, just to get all the pieces in place. I kind of feel my life is like a mental and physical game of Tetris at the moment. I'm constantly filling boxes, storing boxes, moving boxes so I can store more boxes. And then mentally, it is a series of, well, bad seed, you can't do X until you've completed Y, and you can't do Y until you've completed Z. We're getting there. We are getting there. Are we getting there? So I think I said in the last video, my plan now is to get a place in France to rent, get that 3-month rental contract. I'll have the funds in the bank. I'll take out my medical insurance. I think I'm going with a company called Fab, and it's going to cost me about £1,700 for the year. But in order to apply for a long-term visitor's visa for France, you can't do it on travel insurance. You need a medical plan. And the letter for the government. They're my 4 things. Someone turned around to me and said, the letter for the government has to be handwritten. No big impact there. However, here's the thing I have realised 2 weeks ago. So, the money will go into the bank from the house sale, take out my medical insurance. I'm going to pay a damage deposit in 3 months in advance rent, get my rental contract, apply for my visa appointment, and then once I have the appointment, I hand my passport over. So there's loads of anecdotal evidence as to how long the process of obtaining a visa appointment and waiting on the outcome of that appointment takes. And I haven't been able to try and book an appointment because at the moment I don't have a French address. But I'm kind of thinking to myself, okay, let's say there's a 2-week lead time on appointments, allow a month, worst case scenario, for the visa outcome. So 6 weeks. Then occurred to me, well, hold on. So in one hand, I've got a rental contract for somewhere in France giving me a place to live. But if I've had my visa appointment, at which point I hand over my passport, without a passport, I can't get to the accommodation I've booked and am paying for. So, although I will have everything in place for the visa application, which is good, and be paying for accommodation, officially, still haven't got anywhere to live. And I've spoken to someone recently, last week, who has said, oh yeah, from applying for the appointment to getting the outcome took us 12 weeks. I'd anticipated 6. So I could be, in theory, paying for accommodation in France because I need that rental contract, but not be able to get to it. Mental Tetris. It's where I am. In the last video, I showed, a short list of 8 properties that I would like to view. I think 5 of the 8 are no longer available. So, French property seems to be being snapped up pretty quickly. I say it's been snapped up pretty quickly. There's something else I've realised this week. I reached out to an agent and said, give me more details, please, on this property. And they said, oh, it's unavailable. But here are 3 more that you might be interested in. And one of them was the property in Lurie Bay. So a property I was interested in was unavailable. One of the properties I'd viewed and I knew was under offer. I went back to them to ask about one of the other properties, and that had gone under offer. One of 4 properties was actually available. There are agents out there, and I'm not going to mention any names, who are not keeping their websites up to date, which makes it harder to tell whether the property market is moving quickly or whether there's just some really incompetent French immobilier out there. That said, here's a property for you to look at. So first things first, I found this property on Greenacre's website. We're situated in a place called Monté. So the usual ferry routes, Portsmouth, Cherbourg, Portsmouth, Caen would be easiest. And pretty much come to Jure. Monté is just on that trifecta where Pays de Loire, Brittany and Lower Normandy meet. You can see you've got Saint-Hilaire, Domfront, Mayenne and Fougères surrounding it. So no shortage of good towns. Agency description reads as a character stone house on a plot of 1.5 hectares with its own small pond, located in Monté, Surface area of the property is 123 square metres, so a good size. Only got 4 rooms and it's only 2 bedrooms, but it does have a convertible loft. Couple of pictures here of the external property. Heating for the property is via a heat pump and an individual wood burner. Property has mainly wooden double glazed windows. Waste is via a non-compliant septic tank that will need replacing. Property is on the mains for water and is connected to fibre internet. This is a property that needs attention. So the agent has pointed out the roof of the house seems okay, but will need replacement. The terracotta portion of the roof is in bad condition, and there's a portion of asphalt which is okay but will probably need replacing. The electrics on the house also are probably going to need upgrading, but if you can get past that, I think there's a really nice property here. Starting off, we've got pictures of the lounge. You can see the original tiled floor, the wood burner. I'm not sure if I'm getting this property confused with another, but I'm sure I saw that a large proportion of this property was built in 1716. And in fact, part of the property, now ruined, dates back to 1580. So this property is only a 2 up, 2 down, but because of that, the rooms are great proportion. So you can see the kitchen here. I don't think that beam is going anywhere, but yet you can see work needing on tidying up the electrics, but it's a good sized room. And then if I'm not mistaken, leading off from that door on the right there, we go into these 2 ancillary rooms. I think this is where I'd be looking to introduce a bathroom, because one of the major downsides on this property is this room. We've got a toilet and a sink. I can't see any mention in the property description of a shower or bath. So anyone looking at this would be looking to take it on with that work in mind. Then there's 2 bedrooms on the first floor. This is the main one. You can see it's a fantastic size. I think this is 32 square meters. Second bedroom shown here, again needing work, and about half the size, just 13 square meters, but still good size room. Then I think a must do for me, picture here of the landing. This is where we're going to go up into the attic. Attic is described as being fully insulated, but no picture of inside of the attic. And then just to finish this one up, we've got a couple of pictures. There's a picture here of one of the outbuildings. There's another picture here of the pond. And the agent's also been able to provide the cadastral. There is a working farm, let's say it's to the north there. That wouldn't bother me personally. The noise and any inconvenience of living next to a farm, I think that's something that comes with rural living. And then finally, the price on this one: 4 room, 2 bedroom, stone house, 123 square meters, 1.5 hectares. The agent is asking for €132,500. That equates to 116 British, 155,000 US, which is 213 Canadian, or 239 Australian dollars. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez? J'aime. Je ne te dis pas j'adore, mais j'aime. The estate agent has, in this instance, and I'll link their details, has been really good. I reached out to them to ask them a couple of questions, and they came back with a really comprehensive reply. And they said, in the short to medium future, parts of the roof are going to need looking at. The wiring will need looking at. I don't remember whether they said it needed a new septic tank, but seagulls. It's a nice looking property. The bathroom is the worst. I think there's scope in other parts of the property to do a wet room, which is something I would always like anyway. But anywho, what do you think? Let me know in the comments section. I have to get on with completing my contents list for my storage check-in, but fortunately that list can also be duplicated and translated, and it will accompany my French customs declaration. My list of 28 things has increased to 39 things, but it's okay. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed at all. Whoever says I'm stressed don't know what they're talking about. I'm not stressed. Je ne suis stressé pas. Je stressé pas. Day 568 of Duolingo. That is everything from me. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week.